Hello again. Welcome to the Federal. This time we are talking about a crisis that is affecting every household in Kerala. A crisis that has suddenly become both a governance challenge and a political issue. Kerala's power crisis. In the last assembly election, the LDF had one of the simplest and most effective campaign messages. Remember the UDF years? Remember the power cuts? Those dark era? We gave Kerala 10 years without load shedding or power cut. It was more than an election slogan. It was presented as proof of governance. The message was clear. Under the LDF, Kerala had left behind the dark days associated with the UDF. But the people voted differently. The UDF came to power once again after 10 years. And within months, Kerala is once again talking about power cuts. The government has its explanations. Rainfall has been poor, temperatures have risen sharply, electricity demand has surged, the power is scarce across the country, the power exchange is unable to supply enough electricity, and what's available comes at a very high price. All these reasons may be valid, but politics is rarely about explanations. It's about what people experience. And what people are experiencing today is something they believe belonged to the past. The timing could not have been worse during the FIFA World Cup fever. For the past month, the Football World Cup has transformed Kerala's evenings. Families finished dinner early. Tea shops remained open well past midnight. Friends gathered around television screens wearing Argentina, Brazil, Spain, England and France jerseys. Every match became a community event. Now, with only the final left, anticipation is at its highest. That is precisely why every unexpected power cut has provoked such an angry public reaction. It is not difficult to understand why emotions have run high. Across several parts of Kerala, angry residents walked to nearby KSEB offices even after midnight, demanding answers. Social media has been flooded with videos of football fans shouting at officials after missing key moments of World Cup matches. For a state where football is almost a religion, interrupting a World Cup match is perhaps the fastest way to turn public frustration into public anger. The irony is that this crisis is unfolding in the middle of the monsoon. Normally, Kerala worries about electricity shortages during the peak of summer when reservoirs run dry. This year, even during the rainy season, the state is struggling to meet demand. Why? Because, according to the government, the rains have not arrived as expected. On many days, temperatures have remained 4 to 5 degrees above normal. Air conditioners and fans are running almost continuously. Daily electricity consumption has touched nearly 9 crore units, much higher than what KSEB had projected for July. During peak evening hours, demand is often exceeding supply by nearly 1000 megawatts. To manage this gap, KSEB initially planned power restriction of just 15 to 30 minutes. But in many places, consumers say outages are lasting close to an hour. On some days, the board has had to restrict between 500 and 600 megawatt of supply. The bigger concern is that this may not end soon. If rainfall remains weak and additional electricity cannot be purchased, power restrictions may continue on most rainless days, possibly until December. That's worrying. Kerala depends heavily on buying electricity from outside the state whenever hydropower generation falls. But today, the entire country is facing shortages. Even when electricity is available, producers are insisting on long-term, round-the-clock purchases at high prices. Kerala mainly needs additional power during evening peak hours, making such contracts financially difficult. KSEB is now trying to produce an additional 200 megawatts from NTPC and other generators that may provide some relief, but it is not a long-term solution. The government argues that this is a national crisis caused by weather and market conditions and should not be politicized. The opposition disagrees. It says shortages should have been anticipated months in advance. Additional power should have been contracted earlier instead of leaving consumers in darkness. That political battle has already begun. Ironically, the same slogan the LDF used during the election campaign has now become its biggest weapon in opposition. They are reminding the government every single day that uninterrupted electricity was once considered Kerala's biggest governance achievement. For ordinary people, labels make little difference. Whether it is called power management, power restriction, or load shedding, a blackout is still a blackout. Students cannot study, small businesses lose customers, restaurants struggle, shops pause billing, and football fans miss the biggest sporting event in the world. The KSEB chairman has assured the public that there will not be a power disruption during the Argentina-Spain World Cup final, with additional electricity being purchased for that night. That assurance itself tells us how serious the situation has become. It is a political challenge the UDF government can no longer ignore. There is another narrative doing the rounds, particularly on social media. Some allege that the present crisis is not merely the result of weather, demand, or market conditions. They claim the shortages are being allowed to continue to create public acceptance for greater private participation in electricity distribution, with some even linking it to the entry of Adani power into Kerala's energy sector. At this point, there is no evidence in the public domain to substantiate such claims. They remain speculation and in many ways resemble a conspiracy theory rather than an established fact. Yet, the very fact that such theories are gaining traction reflects the level of public distrust surrounding the crisis. In politics, perception can sometimes travel faster than facts, and that is another challenge the government now has to confront.